Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Grand Lux by Cyril Marchetti. There's a website. It is usgamesinc.com, if I can hold this steady, which apparently I can't. Feel free to freeze frame if you need to get that information, if you like it, if you would like it. Supportive Oracle Cards. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms Oracle Cards by Colette Baron Reed. There's websites on the back here if you want to freeze frame and grab those if you're interested. I do think she has her own website. I just don't see it here. If you search out the full name of the cards and her full name together, I'm pretty sure you'll find it though. What do we have for Gemini? Oh, I'm like, all right, okay. I don't know. It's the first one, this section that I've done that with. Well, okay. I don't know if this is good or bad yet. Is that a worry or... Alright, let's go a little farther. I'm not really sure if this is good or bad yet. I mean, it feels very spider to the fly to me. Like, who's the spider and who's the fly, though? Who's the spider and who's the fly? You may be very interested in somebody, or something or somebody. It doesn't have to be a romantic, obviously. There's something that you're interested in. Let's just leave it at that. Could be business-wise, very easily. Y'all love the possibilities. You're like it's like, I want that. The possibilities are just endless. I love that. When you can see angles, that gets very exciting. Because you're like, well, what would I want versus what is here, and how do I get where I want to go, and what else is possible? Well, I didn't realize that was an option. And I feel like things can go really, really fast. Let's bring it together. There's a contradictory energy here. And I have to, I feel like we got to discern. We have to discern what the truth is. Part of you knows this, though. You're kind of like, some of this is contradictory, but is it the kind of contradictory that I can work with it? And I can just actually, help it move forward in a good way? Or is this the type of contradictory where it looks like we're going to move forward, then we don't go anywhere? And then it looks like we're going to move forward, then we still don't go anywhere. It's kind of like, is it false promises in the sense of, we could do this and we could do that, but then nothing ever happens? Oh, there's possibilities. We're not going to take any of those. Oh, there's more possibilities. No, we're not going to do those. No. It always looks like there's a possibility for change, but it just never literally happens. And that's we have to figure out, can you motivate this to actually make a change? Or is this just somebody who just toys with information but never uses it? That's not okay. If somebody has information but they never do anything with it, things literally stay the same, that's very, that's almost why? Why even bother looking? Why bother trying? There's a lot of discord. It's the Five of Wands, right? But this is a very curious card to me. Because I just noticed the wands are very ornate. They're actually kind of beautiful, in my opinion. If I can get them a little closer so you can see them. I'm going to put it on its side. They're very ornate and beautiful. But these are not people getting along. A lot of great ideas. A lot of great potential. But a lot of conflict here. Now, I don't really think of Gemini as somebody going towards conflict usually. It's more like, what's the possibilities? Can we make this go better? I don't really want to fight, but I want things to go better. I don't think of Gemini that way anyway. I mean, you could tell me different, of course. The question is this worth it or not? We're having a hard time getting past that because I feel like I have to go backwards. With the Temperance card, ironically, this is your opposite. So this can be kind of like your kryptonite. If information just flies around, but it's even worse with information that we consider possibilities, but we really don't do anything with them. We sort of consider possibilities that we never do anything with. Worse than that is kind of we talk about possibilities, we think about doing this, we think about doing that, and then somebody just makes a random decision and does what they want anyway. So it's kind of like we talked about it, thought about it, maybe this, maybe that, and then all that information is just ignored and somebody just does randomly what they want. That's not, like, this energy is like your contrary energy, kind of like, all the thought and consideration was just not even used. Somebody just came in and did what they wanted anyway, and we thought about all these possibilities, and it turned out we didn't have any control over it anyway. So it's kind of like it was still wasted. Like, we thought this, we thought that, we were trying to work it out, but the information wasn't even considered when the actual choice was made. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we gathered all this information, put it together in this packet, but the person who was making the decision just ignored it and just did what they wanted anyway. They never were going to consider it to start with. Hopefully I made sense with that. You gotta know if you're gonna like it here, like if you even matter. That's a big piece. Like, does it even matter if I show up? Like, does my opinion matter? Does what I want matter? Does it even have an effect here? That's what we're looking for. Makes a big difference. Makes a huge difference if you're going to be a part of this, obviously. We got a lot of Earth on the other side. Queen and Knight of Pentacles. Now, there's a certain finesse with working with this energy. This is a very lucrative, a very determined, very successful, usually. Well, Earth is like this. It either stays here, slowly goes down and continues, or slowly goes up and continues. If it's going up, it can slowly change and start going, or if it's going down, it can slowly change and start going back up. But it's very dependable. That's the short answer of that. If you're able to uncover how you need to relate to this energy, and it can be a challenge for Gemini, because you can't throw a lot of possibilities at this. This is not the type of people who want to hear all the different possibilities. They want to know what works, and they want to slowly move towards something. They want to stay on the same path. It's like, if you're going on this road, you can easily probably get them in different lanes of this road to a point. But if you want them to go onto a different road, you got to make your case long ahead of time, work at it, and really convince them, like, I know we're going this way, but we really need to get on that road. And it might take you 2 to 3 hours if you're on a road trip to consider that. Like, they're like, no, this is where we're going. This is why. This is where I want to be. It may take you a long time and a lot of energy to get them to consider something different. This is also the energy where if you're on a road trip, they usually won't change the itinerary during the road trip. They want it settled and decided before you leave. Once you're on it, they don't like to change. So there's that energy too. There's a lot to deal with here. There's planning ahead. There's realizing you're not going to have a lot of say in the moment. You're going to have to plan way far ahead and work at it to change something. Which I feel like you're looking at this like, I don't even know if this is for me. Because when I feel Gemini's energy, kind of like, yeah, but if you find something out in the last few minutes that wasn't there before, you can't plan for that ahead of time. You just got to do with it when you get it. And if this energy isn't compatible with that, that's going to be very difficult for me. And you might start looking at this like, I don't know if this is really for me. I'm not saying it's a bad situation, but it may not be the situation for me. It's kind of like maybe it's a good situation, but it's kind of like I don't feel like this is a place where I'm going to be effective. And you have to do the Dragon's Duel, which is kind of like, I mean, I could be happy here. It could be lucrative for me, but I may be very unfulfilled. It's kind of like, yeah, maybe it's like taking that job that's a good job and pays well, but you don't really like, and you're like, yeah, but it pays well. The hours are good. I just am bored. I'm bored with this job. I hate it. I don't really like it, but the people are good. I don't really enjoy the job, but the people are good, and I like the money. So, I mean, there's that. I've had jobs like that, where the people are real good, the money's good, but you're like, the job is like I can't. And I've walked away from those jobs. I have a little bit of Gemini in my chart, so I'm thinking, I'm wondering if that's why. Kind of like, no, it bored me to death. I just couldn't do it after a while, and I just changed what I did, which got me where I am today. So I guess all is all. All in the long run is fine. Because I'm saying that, and I'm seeing this Nine of Cups. If you're not happy, whatever the situation is, I don't know. You're looking to be happy. It's not just about the details in the sense of like possibility. It's the detail in the sense of like, do I like this? That's the biggest detail. Do I like this? Because if you don't like it, you're not going to be able to. You're going to be like, I need to go somewhere else. So whatever the situation is it going to be effective? And I keep feeling like when I see the Temperance card here, if you put all this information together and try to state your case and argue your point, but then you realize this person was never listening to you to begin with, that's really you're gonna hate that. Kind of like, well, why am I even here? Why did I even bother? Even if that's not technically what's happening, but it's how it feels to you, it's not going to be okay. The Knight of Cups here. This is where you're heading for. Is that the King of Swords? You need something or someone. If you can connect to this situation with somebody who really sees your value and listens to you, then you'll stick with it. But whatever the situation is, especially if it's a business situation, if you can find you're in. If you can find an ally, yes. You need to find an ally. That's the first thing you need to do. Whatever the situation is you're going into, the first people you're coming up with, I don't think you're either your cup of tea. But they may be connected to somebody who can cross the line. Somebody who can like work with air and convert it into earth. Like, I don't know how to explain that other than like they may understand you, able to absorb your information, able to like cultivate it and kind of like, okay, and then relate it to earth in a way to where, all right, I know what I need to do. We have to decide carefully. We have to move slowly. We have to give earth a little piece at a time and keep edging them the way we want them to go. This person may be a little slippery. They got the Shadow Queen with them. So I'm not going to say they're the most honest person. I don't know what else to say about that. But, you know, I do what you got to do. It reminds me of when I was in high school, a teacher once said the most effective presidents have been the most crooked. So don't know where you want to go with that. This person may be able to get things done and take your opinion seriously. I feel like you'll get along with this person very well. I think you'll see them for who they are. I think you'll understand why they do what they do. They just may not be the most honest, and they're the kind of like, well, when you're dealing with this situation, this is how you make things work. You decide what you got to do with that. I'm just pointing it out. I don't even know. You decide what you got to do with that. Because it's kind of like balancing the good with the bad. Kind of like, maybe it's not the most ideal, but maybe it is effective. So there's healing with this person. This is where you're going to find your most effective connection with this whole situation. It's going to be it's going to be over and over and over again. I feel like that's again the dragon duel coming in with you, kind of like, ooh, they're effective, but they're not the most honest. And the thing is, you see through it. Other people may not. I don't know. You got to decide what you're going to do with that. That's a very slippery energy. I don't know. You'll see through it. Other people may not. You have to decide with that. That's where we're fine. I feel like this whole thing is accumulating to when you see that person and what you want to do with it. That is your in. That person is your in. That's where your most effective connection will be. All right, I'm going to let it go. I hope that helps. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.